Hey, Tom.
There we go.
It's good to see you in these trying times.
You again. Be safe.
Yeah. Oh, it does tell me we're recording. Cool.
All right.
It's just blinded.
So yeah, fucking Mandalorian.
Okay, Tom.
Already dropped an F-bomb. Let's go.
We already did it. Well, that idea was out the window quick.
That was not gonna work that long.
No, probably not. Okay.
All right.
Go over the episode. What'd you like?
What did I like? Dude, I mean, first of all, Boba Fett's his armor, how he cleaned it up.
Yeah, the paint job.
Looking clean. It's fresh.
It took me a second to notice it.
I know.
I was like, that something looks different.
Yeah.
Oh, he got a paint job. He went to the shop.
But dude, the seismic charge at the end.
Bro. Brought back memories.
Dude, that was like my favorite part in Attack of the Clones back in the day. So that was
Yeah. Whenever I watched it again this morning with Megan, and like he was doing some maneuvers and like got away from him, and then as the doors opened up for it, I looked over. I was like, yeah. And then it happened, and she was like, whoa, what is that? And I was like, oh, it's from Attack of the Clones. She's like, oh.
The thing I really like about this show is how like much it's making me feel like a kid again. Like,
yeah.
When he was fighting those guys, and like I was like legit like he's gonna use a seismic charge, and then he used it. I was like, dude.
Yeah. And then seeing Mando fight, seeing him fight with the armor was awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, okay, maybe you don't need that armor. I'm sure he missed it because he was hurting, but.
Well, he uses the armor so much as like a part of his fighting technique because he's always just like fucking taking bullets.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. He's a badass fighter, and it was awesome to watch. And then, how'd you feel about Mayfield's character in the first season?
I mean, I love Bill Burr, so I thought it was cool. I thought I like brought it back down to reality a little bit too because he's like making fun of everything.
Mm-hmm.
But he killed it in this episode. Like he was like
they really wrote this episode well.
He's tearing up.
Yeah.
So he did.
And like,
I hope they bring him back as like side character in like future seasons or whatever,
Yeah. Like I thought a lot of last season was setting up the world that we're in now. Character development. This is this person, so on and so forth. And then the random cameos by random celebrities was just cool. Mm-hmm. And then they bring him back again, and I was like, why? But okay, cool. We'll see where it goes. And then, which by the way, I thought the prison break thing was going to be longer and more elaborate, but whatever. And then seeing you get some actual character background on this guy, even though he's a comedian in real life, like he killed it. Like the whole range of emotions he was going through, like still trying to make jokes, but then like, I'm a realist, man. Like you're just like me. Everybody's dead. I don't know. And then at the end, when he have his conversation with his leader, his ex-leader,
mm-hmm.
Imperial, what was his name? Naaman Haas or something.
Yeah, that guy was a really good creepy guy too. Like,
yeah. Have you seen Kingsman, right? Have you seen Kingsman?
No, haven't. Is he the bad guy?
No, he's just in it, and apparently he was Valen Hess. That's what it was. So apparently he was the original Night King in Game of Thrones, like in the first season before they went to that stunt coordinator guy. And he's been in a bunch of other stuff too, but yeah, I noticed him and I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but dude, like what you were saying, how like the first season was kind of introducing all these characters and opening up the world.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this season is like is like directly connecting it to like Star Wars now.
Yeah.
Like the core Star Wars, which is cool. I'm just interested if like they keep it Mandalorian or if like
They go Jedi.
yeah, if they get like Super Jedi with it, because they have the Ahsoka series and the new Ranger series, which is going to be in the same time frame as the Mandalorian. So
Yeah. That might focus on.
I
I heard
mean,
an idea from someone that it could focus on like the Ranger series, potentially be like a Fennec Shan and Cara Dune thing.
mhm.
That kind of storytelling.
It'd be cool if all three shows kind of like intertwine with each other, and then
Kind of like what
eventually there's a
like
movie.
the Marvel Netflix series.
Yeah, and maybe like they have a movie in 4 years or 5 years that kind of closes the door on all those stories.
Or they just like they kind of go up with Mandalorian, out with these shows, and finish with Mandalorian.
Yeah,
Because I mean, they've already got. They didn't even announce their like trilogies because apparently those are in talks, but they're announcing these like solo movies and stuff.
yeah, because I think the Ahsoka series is only supposed to be one season, right?
It's
Like,
limited, isn't it?
yeah. So,
I mean, I hate that, but whatever.
but I mean, she seemingly has to die before the sequel series, unless she's in like the world between worlds, and that's a whole other wormhole that who knows they'll go down if they'll go down that.
The only well, if you can pull up a photo of the title page, the background of Ahsoka is the world between worlds, or at least it looks like it.
Okay.
And it's the same background as apparently the Jedi Fallen Order,
Yeah. Yeah.
like behind the name.
Mhm.
But I mean, I don't know if I'd want them to go the world between worlds because they did it in Rebels and it was already confusing there. And live action would just make it worse for those who definitely don't know what that is,
Yeah.
But I mean,
Um, I feel like that could be a possible Ezra though, because if you think about it, that's how Ezra saved Ahsoka.
yeah, I'm fine with them not doing that and then just doing like an adventure story with her and Sabine, finding Ezra. Maybe if we don't get Thrawn introduced in Mando, we get it introduced in Ahsoka, and then maybe they're going to do a Thrawn series leading up to Episode 7.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or, leading up to whatever's going on during the sequels in the Outer Rim, because that's where he dominates at. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know if I want the World Between Worlds. It was cool, but a live action World Between Worlds, it's like, okay, now you're doing time travel. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
It opens up a lot of like plot holes and stuff too.
Yeah, because then you could just immediately retcon almost anything.
Yeah.
And that's not, I don't like that completely.
Probably like, as far as Endgame goes, was probably like one of the biggest complaints was the time travel aspect, I think.
I think it works for Endgame because it
Does, but I feel like there's
it gave importance to, it gave like a bigger emphasis on Ant-Man and in the quantum realm, and then now with Ant-Man 3 announced and Kang the Conqueror, who's like the most dangerous time traveler in the comics, roughly, I think.
Yeah.
Now it's like an even bigger thing. It's an even bigger thing. And yeah, now he has to deal with the time travel stuff, not just the whole group, but like I thought it was a cool
and
way to do it.
they have the Loki series too, which is going to be all time travel. So that's
I mean, yes, but it's
like the time travel police.
not like retcon time travel.
No, I'm just saying like they're going to tie it all in though. You know what I mean? Like they're
Yeah.
probably going to go into Kang the Conqueror stuff.
Yeah, and then the multiverse of madness with Doctor Strange and WandaVision and whatever's going to happen with Spider-Man and my God. Anyways, back to Mando. So, what'd you think about them showing his face?
Ooh, yeah. he seemed super uncomfortable.
Dude, Pedro played that so like awesome. Like you just see it on his face, especially when he gets confronted by the Valen Hess guy. He's like, "Hey, trooper, what's your TK number?" and all that, and he's turns and he's kind of like, you know, pissing in his shoes right now. Like he doesn't know what to do.
Yeah,
He's
he
like,
keeps telling you like,
"What do I say?" This dude sees my face. It was kind of weird. Is the only thing keeping Bill Burr's character Mayfield from doing the face thing was that guy. He could have done it. He didn't have to show his face. But I felt like a sense of urgency was, you know, like Mando or Den felt a sense of urgency. So he's like, screw it. Like, I got to get my homie Grogu. Got to save his little green butt.
I mean, Din Djarin is on a mission, dude. That
Yeah. He clearly doesn't care anymore.
showed his face and then slid into Moff Gideon's DMs at the end there.
Dude, Moff's face was hilarious. He's like, "How did you find me?"
Yeah.
But like, do you think that was even smart?
I mean, can he
That,
like, can he just take off to somewhere else now, right?
I don't know. Is it like, are they tracking him with that little pin thing that he put into the computer,
Maybe.
or
Yeah.
is it just a one-time thing?
The way I saw it was that like it just showed his location at the moment.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you're playing,
But
you know,
potentially,
if you're playing playing like hide and seek, and I know where you're at, I'm not gonna call you and be like, "I know where you're at," because then you're gonna move.
yeah.
But then I know that's not gonna be. It's one episode left, so they're gonna find him. But I don't know. Maybe it is a live tracking thing. Like, hey, I'm gonna download the specs of his StarCraft, and I'm gonna use Slave One to track him because Slave One was able to track armor, so he can track a ship if they have the information. I'd imagine it's kind of like tracking an IP address, maybe. But that was awesome. He completely just like re-quoted Gideon. I was like, ooh, ooh, ooh.
Do you think that Bo-Katan and her posse of Mandalorians are gonna join in and help, or do you think that like it's just gonna be Din Djarin and like Boba?
I feel like their group right now, if it was just their group right now, it does raise the stakes because it's just, well, I don't even think Cara Dune would do it. Like, she has to be the marshal, right? So it's just Boba, Finnick, and Din. So I feel like if they just went as them three, like, it's too big of a risk with a higher chance of failure. So I feel like maybe he will reach out to Bo and be like, "Hey, I found Gideon. I helped you on your mission. You helped me on mine."
Yeah, I think they're gonna try to pull out the big guns for this. You know, try to get everybody.
Yeah. I can see them starting out as just the Slave One, Boba, Din, and Fennec, and then, you know, Mando put in a call to Bo-Katan and was like, "Hey, meet us here," and she shows up, you know, at the perfect cinematic moment.
Yeah, like the Han Solo moment when Luke blows up the Death Star.
Yeah, yeah, exactly that. But I think that's most likely what's going to happen. But we could also see something really quick, like we did with this episode, and picking up Mayfield was just, "Hey, here's this character. All right, come with us." And it could be something like that, where they just go back to find Bo and it's like, "Hey, get your people. Let's go. Get your ships. You know, whatever."
Yeah, something I was surprised about with this whole season in general is the lack of filler episodes.
People were saying that this was filler. I didn't feel that.
Like huge.
I thought it was awesome. Like it I don't know the definition of filler, but I feel like it was not filler. It moved the plot forward.
The Frog Lady episode was filler episode for sure.
The spider.
Yeah, like nobody cares.
It was cool, and I think that. Well, I think it's very minute detail in the story, but it played into why his ship was so messed up and the ship's story, so to speak. But I mean, it was a minor episode that if it didn't happen, there's not much we would miss other than, oh, what happened to his ship?
Yeah, unless
And then the thing with, you know, Baby Yoda or Grogu and Frog Lady, their little kind of connection, not really connection, but like it was a good enough connection to where Din trusted her to watch over him while he went with Bo-Katan. So, I mean, if it didn't happen, there's not much that would have been missed.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think that it helps the story abroad, because maybe we go back to that planet. You know, maybe Frog Lady plays a part in this. You know, I don't know. It's like a very minor plot moving, progressing, you know, episode, but like it still progresses the story.
Yeah.
Rather than just jumping from, okay, Frog Lady, let's go here, and then next thing you know, they show up on the planet with all the I can't think of their names.
I guess if he didn't meet her, he would have never gone to that planet and met Bo-Katan. So
Trask. Yeah, Trask. That's what it was. Yeah, because then you would have been like, oh, well, okay. You're on Trask now, but why is your ship all damaged?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then it wouldn't. We also got him getting chased by X-wing rebels. So, I mean, not only did we get to see Trapper Wolf and Dave Filoni, but like that, I can't think of the other guy's name. The other pilot who questioned the people on Navarro. Is it Navarro? And yeah, I mean that kind of plays into the overall story that the rebels have, the new rebellion has. You know, maybe that one pilot is trying to recruit Cara Dune and for the new show, and you know, whatever. But I think if there was a filler episode, yeah, that one's it. But it is what it is. It was good. It was a good episode. It wasn't the best, but I think if every episode was the best, then like there wouldn't be a best, you know?
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
Yeah. So I like how they fluctuate, you know, episode time, intensity of the episodes, how many characters you're bringing in. Because like for a good stretch of 4 episodes, it was like mind blowing. And then this episode, it was kind of slow it down a little bit, but it was still impactful for Mayfield, impactful for them finding Grogu, and
yeah, I feel like every episode except for that episode has been mind blowing.
Yeah, for different reasons, but yeah. But I definitely think Bo-Katan and Night Owls are coming. I have a feeling we're not going to see another Jedi this season.
No, I don't think so.
Unless it's a cliffhanger.
That's actually what my theory is, kind of, for the finale.
Yeah, go over it.
Basically, I think it'd be a huge fight with Moff Gideon and all of them. And also, I don't think that he's gonna get Grogu back this season.
No, I think they lose.
Yeah, I think they lose.
I think they escape. Maybe nobody big dies, but I think they escape, and I don't think they get him.
Yeah, and so I think that like it'll like end super sad like that, like they lost, and then it'll be like, I guess, sort of end a credit scene or like ending scene, but it'll be on Python, and it'll be like they'll just show like a
figure, yeah,
or somebody like on there like tracing,
or a lightsaber, or a hand, or
yeah, so
even like, just a foot with like a robe blowing in the wind, and it's at the Seeing Stone. Like that's enough for me.
Yeah, and then everybody be like, "Oh my God, who is that?" And it'll be like a million theories for the next year, and Disney will make it.
Yeah, because literally that could be anybody if it's just a foot in a robe.
Yeah,
and it'd be like that. Remember when the Negan scene when everybody was on their knees, and there was all those theories about who did Negan kill,
Yeah.
and they didn't even know until they filmed it. Like, you know, I don't know. It was cool, but like it would be like that for the next year because it's not coming. Season 3 is not coming out till Christmas.
Yeah.
So,
Who do you think Grogu saw on the Seeing Stone? If anybody.
well, I mean, if we go over the ones that we think are alive, you got Luke, Ezra, Cal Kestis, if you want to bring the video game in, Fallen Order.
Which
I
so they referenced Operation Cinder, which is from the video game.
That's from Battlefront too, right?
Yeah. So they're starting to reference things from video games, which means the possibility of Hellfest is coming in live action.
Yeah,
Fallen Order.
yeah. I mean,
I think that for me made it like, okay, this is actually a real possibility now that he could come in this.
yeah. And then I'd have to look this up, but is Quinlan Voss still alive?
I don't know what happened to him.
I mean, well, he had a book,
Yeah.
with Asajj Ventress,
Uh-huh.
and but I don't know if he died or she died. I can't remember. Huh?
Did he die like giving his life for her?
I couldn't remember if it was that way or flipped, like she died for him.
Yeah.
I mean, let's see here. He's in this comic.
So for people that don't know, Asajj Ventress was sort of like a mini Sith Lord in the Clone Wars TV series.
Like an assassin.
Yeah, she was like Count Dooku's secret apprentice, and
Mm-hmm.
Quinlan Voss was sent like undercover, right, by the Jedi Order to like kind of infiltrate them and be with her, right? And then like he kind of turned to the dark side.
I think they all just stopped doing the extremities of either or
Yeah,
and
like
kind of look out for each other.
they both just kind of like almost fall in love, kind of, and like decide to both stop what they're doing, and then they kind of disappear from the whole Star Wars story. But he was never confirmed to die during Order 66.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, he just goes after her,
yeah,
like towards the end of the Clone Wars.
what's the possibility that they bring in a new like Jedi character?
Like brand new, we don't know who they are or anything. I think that's lower than our chances of seeing Cal Kestis, but not impossible.
I think people will be kind of pissed if they didn't bring a
Because because they could do, because they can lean into it, and if they eventually do Luke stuff, they can be like, he's eventually one of Luke's kids.
dude. People are gonna hate this, but I don't think that Luke is gonna really. I don't think they're gonna do any Luke stories really. Or I honestly think the chances of seeing Luke are lower than seeing Cal Kestis.
Really?
Yeah, there.
I mean, as much as I want to see him,
I just don't
I
see
go
how
back and forth.
I don't see how it works in the story at all. Honestly, like there's the argument that he's trying to build his Jedi Order right now, which like would be for Grogu. But I think Grogu is going to be with the Mandalorian for the rest of the Mandalorian show. I don't think he's going to go off with a Jedi or anything.
It would make sense.
And it's just like
Like,
the logistics of like bringing Luke back would be crazy. Like they would either have to CGI his young face, which would be like so much money. I mean, they could afford it probably.
they got it.
The actor, which like that in itself is
Sebastian Stan.
yeah, but I mean,
I mean, they already CGI'd him in episode 9.
yeah, but that was for the episode 9, not for a TV show.
I mean, this TV show has
I mean, I
brought
guess
fans back to Star Wars, so I'm sure they'd be like if they were going to do it and it follows the story and it's not just for quote unquote fan service. Like I'm sure they would put the money together and do it.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I'm gonna call right now. I don't think we'll see Luke in the show at all.
I'm not completely sold on at all, but maybe not at the end of the episode and maybe not next season. I mean, I have no idea. We don't know what's going to even happen next season. Because really, this could just be because, like, I don't know if you noticed, but Boba Fett's show wasn't announced. We thought that was going to be a big thing. So maybe Boba Fett and Din are just going to be a duo, and that's why it's Mandalorian. So it's about Mandalorians.
Yeah, like a new jet. I honestly like. It'd be cool to have Mandalorian kind of go like Game of Thrones style of like getting the Mandalore throne and like them trying to take back their planet, and like that's kind of the focus of the show.
Yeah. I mean, I also don't think Mandalore is destroyed. I think it's just mined out from people taking Beskar, kind of like what the Empire was doing on Jeddah and Rogue One.
Mm-hmm.
Not completely, probably not, but they drained it of Beskar and they kind of left it for whatever. But I mean, people have kept mentioning that it's destroyed, and then Bo-Katan was the only one really saying, "Don't believe everything you hear."
Yeah.
So now it's like, okay, is it or is it not? You know, I mean, maybe that's something they can do next season.
Like Conquered Dawn, which is where Jango Fett is from.
Mm-hmm. Like the moon planet next to it.
Like it's the moon of Mandalore, right?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, they have a whole system, so they have outposts and shit. I'm sure there's survivors.
Yeah, but I mean, like I've heard, like playing along the lines of him taking his helmet off and people seeing his face, but like that faction of people that we saw in the first season, all those Mandalorians on Navarro, those it's like a young faction of Death Watch that came from Death Watch, because Death Watch is pretty much dead. You know, not all the Vizslas, but pre-Vizsla died, post-Vizsla died.
It's Dead Watch.
Yeah, it's essentially Dead Watch, but there could be like, you know, fanatics that found Din and brought him up and was like, this is the way, you know, kind of culty vibe with it and influenced his mind. And, you know, Din's a good guy, apparently, you know, well, obviously he's a good guy.
I could see
But
joining like Bo-Katan's like tribe. What I mean, like
group, I don't know.
posse.
Posse. I don't know. I see him as the Lone Ranger.
Clan is the word.
I see him as the Lone Ranger with Grogu and frequently seeing Boba maybe.
I think it'd be some of them to not keep him with Boba, or like have Boba be like a recurring character.
What would you do if Boba dies next week?
I mean, that's honestly a pretty big possibility too.
That would be massive.
See him like giving his life potentially for Din.
Yeah. I don't think it'll happen.
Yeah, I think.
But because I feel like they have so much they could explore with Boba finding a survived Mace Windu. Maybe them working it out. Maybe Boba kills Mace, you know.
Dude, what if Mace Windu is still alive and he comes to find Grogu and Grogu's in the hands of Boba? And he's
Dude,
like, "No, not you again, old man."
Remember me? I killed your daddy. Dude, that's extremely unlikely. Because now, like, where is Mace going to fit in? Now that we have all these other shows, like, where would he fit in?
Yeah, that'd be over the top if they did that.
Because I feel like with a character as big as Mace, like, not saying he needs his own show, but that's a big character to bring back.
Yeah, and
you'd have to do it in like a really big way.
I think if any Jedi are going to come and find Grogu, I think I think Cal Kestis would be the one that would reach out, because there is a sequel to the game that is coming out eventually, right? Like that's confirmed.
I'd imagine. I don't know.
I'm sure there is, and that could potentially the game could potentially be him setting up his own version of a Jedi Order or something like that, or
Let's see.
showing his story more.
Uh, mm, 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 mm. Currently scheduled to launch in fall of 2022.
Yeah. So I mean, you could definitely see him on season 3, and then everybody's like, how is he? Where has he been this whole time? And then the video game comes out right after Mando season 3 is over, and it explains the whole story.
Yeah. Do you think they need to address the Seeing Stone and who we saw? Like now?
I mean,
Because what if they just don't do anything with it, at least this season?
they could.
And I mean, like, it's literally just focused on, let's get Grogu. Maybe we find more stuff out about Gideon. Maybe the end scene is Gideon and his depleted ship, his broken army, and he's like, call the Admiral. And maybe we see like a portion of a hologram, and he's like, yes, like in his Thrawn voice.
Or what about this? It could be like at the end of Thor Ragnarok, when they're all like flying away, like happy
Oh,
ending.
and then Thanos' ship.
Yeah, it could be like
Yeah,
maybe like Din and them and his group like beats Moff Gideon, and they're like like in space with like Moff Gideon's destroyed ship, and then like Grand Admiral Thrawn flies in like
yes.
like, cut it off. That would be crazy too,
You see his fleet just show up, and it's like, oh, bro.
right?
I feel like maybe they leave him for dead on his ship because it's like, oh, his ship's gonna die. He's gonna die here, kind of thing. Like he should starve. He should suffocate, kind of thing. And then they leave, and then he's just chilling there, and he's like, maybe he's bleeding out, and then all of a sudden, and it's like all these starships show up, and it's like, and the only thing that gives it away is maybe there's a new insignia on the bottom of the ship. It's like the Chimera 2 or something. That would be awesome. I'm not gonna lie, that would be awesome. Because maybe they don't even need to go into Grogu seeing stuff right now. Maybe that's setting up for future stuff.
Dude, honestly, I kind of feel like Ahsoka having that episode was purely just to set up her own show. Like I feel like we won't ever see her on Mandalorian again until the line at the end. But
I don't know. I could see her being in next week's episode. I could see it,
I could.
They're facing the Dark Troopers.
Yeah, that's true.
Dark Troopers are rough, and all he has is a Beskar spear, and I mean he's got friends, but I mean
he has friends.
He has friends together. But I mean, like I don't know if they can beat them on their own, because it's the Dark Troopers. It's Gideon with the Darksaber, who is probably got some hidden talents.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's Mandalorian himself, and he's about to put on a black Mandalorian helmet, and he's about to fight like a Jedi would. Like he's skillful. There's probably a reason he's in that position.
Dude, that would be
so intimidating.
That would be really cool if you put on a Mandalorian helmet, like the ultimate Mandalorian trader or something.
Yeah, like he could be a spin-off of that faction in Rebels that was Mandalorian but fell under the Empire. Paz Vizslas, like the white and red, and also some of Sabine's family. But on top of all that, he has all the stormtroopers. He has whatever else is out there. Maybe he's going to meet up with his fleet. Maybe he has like a small fleet of like 4 or 5 ships. And I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like it's a lot for, at a bare minimum, Fennec Shan, Boba Fett, and Din Djarin to take care of.
Yeah, they definitely need
And
that.
yeah, and so whether it's, I feel like most likely it's the Night Owls and Bo-Katan, but I feel like they could easily justify bringing just Ahsoka, like she meets up with him.
Mm-hmm. What?
Just like, and maybe the way they don't get Grogu is maybe they beat everybody, but Gideon's like, he stuns Grogu, and Grogu comes out of the, like somehow Grogu escapes, you know. Grogu walks out or hobbles out, you know, his tiny little legs, and he's like force choking, doing all sorts of force crap, and then all of a sudden Gideon stuns him, tries to take him away. They stop him. Maybe they get Grogu, maybe they don't, and then Gideon gets away in an escape pod or another ship or something. But I don't think this is the end of Gideon, because I feel like we haven't gotten enough from him.
I think I could see like next season him being more of a main character and like giving him like a story arc of some kind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because like, I don't think we necessarily need something flashbacks from his past, but I feel like we need more. We could get more info.
Yeah, I mean,
into who this guy is.
There's a lot of possibilities for them to make, standalone comics out of Gideon, Mayfeld, all these characters. I mean, they could even do a Boba Fett comic and show like how he survived the Sarlacc and all that stuff.
That'd be.
I mean, it could definitely happen.
For something that big, I feel like you have to show it somehow. Because that dude, at least in the
comic,
I don't know where it's
in the new Vader comics, Vader or Luke fights Boba and Luke fights Vader like before they ever actually fight in the movies.
Yeah. And Boba was the one that told Vader that it was his son, or he told him the Jedi's name was Luke Skywalker in the comics.
Yeah. And that's pretty fucking big. So
yeah, that's massive. So I mean, they definitely can do, comic related stuff for big stories for characters and all that. But I feel like something with Boba Fett, when they brought him back in such massive fashion, that they wouldn't just leave it to a comic to describe how he got out.
Yeah.
I just have a feeling they wouldn't do that.
I don't know, dude. I think they would.
Yeah. I don't know. I was half expecting to see, like, because I thought the whole prison breakout thing was going to be like massive, like that was the ordeal of the episode, and I thought, like, I kind of heard somebody else say it, but I thought we were going to see Cad Bane, which would have been awesome.
Yeah. Cad Bane is a bounty hunter from the comics and Clone Wars and Rebels.
Yeah. Another blue guy with red eyes and a cowboy hat. He's kind of like a more talkative Clint Eastwood with ankle jetpacks. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he never dies. And he also was a big character in the kidnap of all the Force kids in Clone Wars, which could maybe play into what they're doing with midichlorians and everything. Maybe they're still hunting for kids. Do you think Din's Force sensitive?
No.
You don't think so? I don't think he is either.
He's just like a sturdy dude that just like uses his body to like that definitely highlighted his like actual fighting abilities, but like for them he just kind of rams people and just like takes shots. Like that's not Force sensitive at all.
He's a punching bag for bullets or lasers. Dude, like, I really don't think he's. I feel like he would know something by now, or maybe he would feel something. Maybe he would accidentally like force push something when he got mad, or something like that. I feel like we'd have known. But I don't like that idea really. I don't think everybody needs to be force sensitive.
Yeah.
Like he can have a metachlorian count because the force lives within all living things, but that doesn't mean he needs to be force sensitive to the point where he has powers.
Mhm.
I feel like that's too much for a show that's as fairly well grounded as this is.
Yeah, and I kind of like that it's like the show is very grounded and not doesn't go into like the force that much.
Yeah, that's what I loved about it in the beginning. Like it was like a Western. It was simple. There
Mm-hmm.
was there was like a lot of Easter eggs and fan service
Mm-hmm.
stuff for the like diehard fans that are like obsessed with Rebels and Clone Wars and all that. But it was still grounded. Like anybody could just pick up the Mandalorian and only the Mandalorian, and you could follow along.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you'd be lost about references or planets or some people's names, but for the most part, everybody's pretty brand new.
Yeah, I like what
Can't really say that for this season, but
I like what Dave Filoni said in the Gallery TV show when they were going over season 1, and he was like, "This show is like you got your older brother's like old Star Wars toys, like all the bad ones, but then you somehow got a fat toy and then like painted it silver and made it yours." No.
Yeah, what's gonna happen next episode? How long is it? Did they release that?
I think it's probably going to be pretty long, I would imagine. Usually,
I mean, they've done a couple short episodes, so
I feel like finales are usually longer, though, right?
justifiably, yes. Um, I mean, it doesn't say anything. This will be the 8th and final episode of the second season, of course.
Any final thoughts on this?
I do believe somebody's gonna die. I think this is like the Empire Strikes Back of Mandalorian episode. I hope it's not Boba. I hope it's not Din. I don't think it's gonna be Din. I hope it's not Bo-Katan. I think she'll play a role in Ahsoka, possibly. I also don't think Gideon's gonna die, and I also don't think they're gonna get Grogu.
Yeah, I don't think they'll get Grogu. I think one of them will probably die.
I think we may get another Thrawn reference, if not a full, or maybe not a full, but like a half reveal or a voice reveal or
or
something like that.
Or something. They can do it without actually showing him.
Yeah. Do you think the whole fight will take place on a ship, or do you think they'll track his ship to a planet?
I think it'll be on a ship.
Yeah. I kind of hope not, because that takes away from like watching and listening to the Slave One fighting TIE fighters in the background or something. But I mean, then again, that takes away from us watching Boba fight again.
All right.
I don't know, man. I'm excited, and I think we're gonna be absolutely mind blown. Predictions? Do you think it's gonna be the best episode? Do you think it'll surpass Boba and Ahsoka?
I don't know, dude. Every episode.
That's big.
Every episode so far, I've been like when it was the Ahsoka episode, I was like, oh, dude, this is awesome. Like I've been waiting for this forever. And then the Boba episode, I was like, I've been waiting for this forever. And it's like,
Yeah. Now we maybe like we didn't even talk about the Darksaber.
Yeah.
Who's gonna fight him? Din with a spear.
I think they set that up. Din with the spear.
Yeah.
But
they kind of foreshadow it with him fighting with on the big truck thing.
Yeah, he's got the spear.
Yeah.
So
I don't know, man. I'm excited.
That's what that character's. That's what his fighting style was in Game of Thrones, was with a spear too. So he like that guy already knows how to. He's already been trained in that kind of like choreography.
Yeah, it just makes sense.
Yeah.
And plus, the actor for Moff Gideon has said multiple times that, or it was reported that he's said that they broke a bunch of like Darksaber while they were filming.
Yeah.
So he fights with it. It's just who does he fight? I think it is Din. I think that's just the obvious.
Dude, I could even see Din like getting fucked up too, like losing an arm or something.
Boba does know how to do the animatronic stuff with
Well,
Finnick.
that's just a common theme in Star Wars is,
Lose a limb.
a limb. Yeah,
You're not a hero unless you lose a limb.
your rite of passage in Star Wars is a little limb.
Seriously. That's why Obi-Wan is never good enough, man. He should have lost a leg in episode 2.
Yeah, well, he got cut pretty good.
Yeah.
It's
He like punched in the arm with a saber. It's like a little like poke, and then got cut on his leg.
That really hurt.
Anyways,
I think that
congrats on our first episode, Tom.
woo,
Woo, woo, woo.
join us
Would
next
you-
week for You Guys One Saber.
Okay, now the title's still up in the air. We haven't established it yet, even though we did all that animation and photos and crap.
You Guys One Saber will be the unofficial name
That'll be our @ for Twitter.
for the deep lore. It's for the
Yeah. Ugh. Let's get out of here, homie.
All right.